Hey everyone, it's Quackers, and today we're back with another speed build. This one is the Springscape veterinary clinic. I learned over the course of this build that I do not know how to spell veterinary, or even say it, really. So the entire premise of this build came from one picture I saw when I was looking at inspiration for mid-century modern builds, and I saw a very large kind of blocky looking building with that exact roof, and I thought, do you know what, that'd make a really nice vet clinic. So here we are. We do have, well, there's one animal in the save file so far, one pet. Her name is Mochi. She is a greyhound, and you can find her in the Oasis trailers lot. She lives there. I was trying to go for a the entryway. Kind of reminds me a little bit of my local Tesco's. And I was really struggling to make it look something like windows, getting matching windows that actually did what those two at the front do, that are also small. Not as easy as it looks, and it doesn't look very easy because I'm making a right meal of it. But yeah, I've never built a vet before on The Sims. I've been to one plenty of times, taking my dogs when I was playing as myself, taking Poirot the cat. He's great. You'll love Poirot. I love Poirot. Everybody should. He does solve mysteries on the weekends, as you would expect from anybody called Poirot. Really going through every single gosh darn window I can find at this point, looking just to see what has a swatch that matches. And not many is the conclusion that we come to. Really not many. Weirdly, I think it's the these ones, the what's it called, university windows that work the best with it. But yeah, please add more matching swatches, for God's sake. This does go on for some time before I settle. We're done. We're Gucci. We got it. Now it's time for my favourite thing, putting brick on things and hoping that it looks like a mid-century modern build. I'm very good at it. That little bit on the inside there, no idea what was going on with that. Obviously it's the roof glitching through, but I couldn't get rid of it, which was quite annoying. But just don't look up when you're in there, and it'll be fine. So now we have the basic shape done, and getting the roof sorted. Well, playing with the roofs a bit more to try and figure out the general shape, and then I think in a minute I end up taking a little break just to look at some pictures. Do I look at pictures in this one? I do. I end up, because I don't know, I've only been to the one vet, obviously the one in Brindleton Bay. I didn't really know what to put in it, so I ended up having to, once I've got the basis down, when I'm trying to furnish all the what do you call them? You know, the rooms later. I had to go and look at what they'd done, what Maxis had done with theirs, because I had no idea what to do. This doesn't stay like this, because that doesn't work. unfortunately. I thought it would. Well, I hoped it would because it looks kind of groovy, but it didn't. I brought Mochi to test it, and we do end up pulling those out a little bit later. I don't think I do it on camera. Now we're shrinking everything down because this is just the foyer, the lobby, the reception, some might say. Now we're getting into the build proper. This little middle bit here is going to be a lovely interior garden. And then corridors and rooms for all the different bits. It's kind of hard to... I mean, I've only ever been to one vet in real life, my local one, and they are basically doctors for animals, you know, equally depressing places that nobody wants to be. You know, it's very quiet in the waiting room. You don't want to talk to anybody because then everyone will look at you because it's so quiet. And, you know, more depressing really than a doctor's surgery, because you're there with your baby, your little fur baby. Nobody wants that. You want them to be better, obviously, but you don't want them to be sick. So no depressive air in this one. Try and keep it semi-colourful, not over the top. I'm going to have to go in and do a really colourful build at some point. Go a little bit crazy. Try to put some windows in. I thought it'd be nice if you could just see into it. And then my one item from Snowy Escape that I used a lot of, because I didn't want it to be like full on from reception. So I thought I would do that. Tried it on the other side, and it does not have the same effect there. I assume because of where it snaps to on the inside. So yeah, well, I think we come back to that in a bit in terms of the decoration, and now it's time for more roofing. Because if there's one thing that needs to be done, it's just all the roofing. And there is a lot on this build. I was trying to work out the overhang there, try and get it. I never even thought about the overhang on the other side, which just goes to show how smart I am. Lord knows what I'm looking for. Oh, yeah! Dance floors. That's not what I was looking for, I don't think. But I found it. I was trying to go... They do make really nice roofs, and obviously your Sim's hopefully not going to be able to get up there and start partying on the roof, because that would be weird. Imagine going to the vet and... Oh, I did think about that in the end. Imagine going to the vet and that's what you see. Just some weirdo on the roof. Getting jiggy with it. No, what? This is the one I was looking for, the crystal clear from Island Living, which I only discovered in a video that I watched, because there's far too many items for me to pay attention to all of them, and I don't play this game, I'm only building it. I kind of feel like it does look a little bit weird in the middle there, but it was an idea and I'm sticking with it. I got more poles out as well. Poles? Yeah, we're gonna go. We'll pole dance. More columns. Big columns. I needed something to break. There's a lot of wood, so I just had to break up the outside a little bit, you know. And this is the realization now that I have no idea what's in a vet at all, and I had to figure that out by looking at someone else's work and hoping, basically. I always have this problem as well when I do bigger builds. I don't know what to fill it with. And this was one of those times because I was like, I'll have two thingy rooms and 2 medicine making rooms and then 1 surgery because why not? Then I do remember later that we need toilets, but we don't need them actually. It's not a toilets is usually something that you have to have in nearly every community build, but not this one and not retail. I've just discovered as well, retail's really all you need is the till for the a retail lot, and it'll go, yeah, that's fine. Don't need anything in it to sell. See, here I went for the classic circle rogue, and instead we're on my first pet, which I'm sure everybody has. In fairness, I like the hamsters, and they're fun. As long as you don't get what do they call it? That rodent disease. Rabid rodent. Rabies, basically. This is where you get to see what my favourite wall coverings are. And it's all the eco lifestyle woods. Now, I actually think the tiles that popped up there very briefly actually look a lot nicer than this linoleum floor, and I very much regret not going for them. But we stick with I don't think I've ever used a linoleum floor. Who would? You know, we all have to put up with it in real life. Why would we put up with it now? This is where I give up on the inside. I'm putting it off. I know I have to do it at some point, but I decided, let's make a car park instead. Why don't we? Not realising I do not have enough room for a car park, because cars don't park that close together. And there's me putting actual thought into it, you know. No one's using these cars, they're not real, but if they're too close together, can't open the door, can't get out of these fake cars. And I go backwards and forwards with all these cars for ages, putting the little lines in with everybody's favourite fence from get to work, and then no. It's no good. No bueno. Zoom in a few times, it might look better. Wiggle the camera. Oh, I forgot I tried it over there as well. And then I remembered you can't put the fence all that way. So we deleted it all. We did something else instead. Learning the Control F to make the corner tiles was a big step in my life. Because I couldn't work out how to do it, even though it literally tells you when you hover over the flooring options. Literally just comparing 2 different floors and hoping, and then going with a completely different one after that. Yeah, still procrastinating. Gotta change that. I think I end up doing that as stone in the middle as well. Yeah, there it is. There it is. And then even if we can't furnish, we'll... No, we're not going to put some wood on. I assumed it would go between there, but it didn't. You need a fence or something. Could I just do a wall now that I think on it? Right, I was looking for something in particular here. And there it is. This is our centerpiece now, which you may have seen on the thumbnail. And also my not my first foray, but my first successful foray into terrain tools. Because I don't like using the terrain tools, because they confuse me greatly and I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, found my sign. I do spend forever and a day going through signs. I think I cut most of it out in the end, towards the end of the video. Because it was just like 5 minutes of me looking for a gosh darn sign. And I didn't find one. Or maybe I did, actually. Got a beautiful, beautiful sign. Love the circle tool. Who needs to make a circle when it can make one for you? Thank you. So going back into debug here. My favourite plants? I actually really like these, the Oasis Springs plants. I know there's not a huge amount of them, but still. Here we go. Desperately trying to figure out. What I wanted from it was for it to kind of cover the statue a little bit, so like the statue was actually in the ground. Could not for the life of me get it to do that. So in the end, we just flatten a bit out in the middle, smooth it out a little bit, and then we make plants. Lots and lots of plants. I like to live vicariously through my sins because I should never, ever be allowed to look after plants. I have a cactus. Cactus Jack. It should be dead. I did not water it for 2 years. I didn't know. Apparently you are supposed to water your cactuses all year round. They say just water them in winter. It's not true. And I guess, you know, you are supposed to actually water them. But, you know, sometimes I remember and it's still alive. Barely. It's a good job there's not a office for plant abuse, because I think I'd be on the register. It's not out of spite, they're very forgettable. I've had bamboo, I've had bonsai trees. Why I thought a bonsai tree would be good for a beginner is beyond me. But they all died. And cactus remains. Oh, I was gonna go for the Dynus cactoid then. I was gonna do it. But I didn't. A lot of the debug items I've noticed, when you have them on terrain like that, the raised terrain, they kind of float a little bit, which is weird, and it's only the debug ones that float. The rest of the normal build by mode plants snap to the ground. Debug ones not so much. Right, so this is after I'd you can maybe tell from the very subtle cut that I went away, I went to Bridleton Bay, I had a look at what it looked like in there, and then I proceeded to copy without copying how that looked. Or how I remembered it looking. Just so that I had something on the inside. It is quite sparse in this one. Which is good for the budget, because obviously you can buy this, and I think it comes out around 68,000, which isn't the worst amount of money. It's not great, but oh, excuse me, it's not good either. It's not cheap. It's not It's not your it's not baby's first veterinary practice. Decided it would be good to copy on the other side, but then flip it so it'll be on the other wall in a minute, so that it's not just, well, it is just a carbon copy, I guess, but it's a carbon copy on the other side, so you might not notice. Bamboozling you. I'm getting to use a few things though that I don't normally use, or picking, let me rephrase that, I'm picking things that I haven't used before and making them things that I will now use all the time. Because I like to obsess. I find something I like and that's it, you know. Ooh, this is where I realised that we don't have toilets. And we could have toilets. And you know what that means. It's the Quackers toilets. You maybe don't know what that means, but these are the toilets I build. This is my first community build on here, so these are the Quackers toilets. Every single community lot that I make will have these toilets in some fashion or other. I like the cubicles like this, because it's smaller. You can fit more of these in than you can the university cubicles. And then we do this with the mirrors, because it reminds me of the toilets in Meadowhall in Sheffield. That's all it is. These are the toilets that stick out to me. Probably because I locked myself in there once, but that's another story. So yeah, they're the Quackers toilets. Every single community build has these exact toilets with just variations on colour and placement. I think even my Irish bar has these toilets. Woo, orange floor! I can't think of any reason to ever have an orange floor. But, you know, maybe someone can. This is like the consulting room now. Where the doc breaks it to you that your pet needs, I don't know, you gotta make them take a medicine that they really don't like, and then they'll be better. And they hopefully won't smush their face into the floor when you give it to them because they didn't like it. My hamster did that. He had a bald spot, so they gave him a little jab while he was there, and then they gave me some medicine for him. So they give you this enormous pipette, and you have to get a hold of him and get it in his mouth and squirt it in. Now the first time is the easiest time, because after that he knows it's coming. As soon as you get that pipette near him, he knows exactly what's in there, and he doesn't want it. And what he would do after I gave it to him and put him back in his cage is he would scrape his face along the floor, all through the sawdust, I think in an attempt to get the taste out of his mouth, because he really hated it. It didn't work. But he did get better. He no longer had a bald patch. So that was good. This machine is completely ungainly and has no business existing. But it does. I don't know what it's for. I assume it's for when you get the animals spayed or neutered. Yeah, it is eerily similar to the one that why do they put you in an iron lung when you go into the doctors? When you're having a baby, they put you in an iron lung, and it's weird. That's not normal. You know, if I go to the doctors in real life, they're not going to put me in an iron lung to have a baby. I hope. Maybe I'll just never find out. That might be a good idea. I did not know what surgeries looked like the operating theatre. I've never been in one. I've watched Holby City, but I wasn't really looking at the decor. This is where I remembered that they gave us some things to use. So I started putting them around. Dog biscuits on every corner. Give your doggers a treat. It was all me. I bought some dog treats. The shop where I work is dog friendly. So I bought dog treats because they're good boys and girls and they deserve some treats, you know. They don't like shopping, they just want to go to the beach, which is nearby. There was two huskies, and they thought they'd been betrayed because they thought they were coming to the beach and instead they came to my shop. They were going to the beach later, but they thought that they'd been lied to and they were in a right strop. It was really funny. I love dogs. What's your favourite, dogs or cats? I mean, they're both good. But I'm just saying, if you die, your cat will eat you. I mean, given enough time, your dog might as well, but... And your kids. Is this getting weird? Do you want me to stop? I'll stop. I needed some decor here, you know, for like the exceptionally bare walls. I don't know if I actually ended up with all that much on here. I think there was a couple of posters. And that was it. Oh, there's the poster. I would have known if I'd been paying attention to my own build. Ah, yes. Let there be light. I thought opera theatres don't usually have windows in them. But this is The Sims, and I can do what I like. What happened to these poor, poor animals? In The Sims, I'm a terrible pet owner. I think it's because they're not real. Probably. That door is glitching. There we go, fix it. I knew. I was on the ball. For once in my life. Carpet? I was going to say, I don't remember using carpet. Because that's... You don't want carpet when there are animals in there. You're going to get... wet carpet. I mean, we've had a wet floor a couple of times. You know, sometimes puppies get excited. But we don't mind as long as you tell us. Yeah. If you don't tell us, then you're in trouble. I never know, when doing like little displays like this, I probably take it a little bit too far. I don't like leaving empty spaces. But I forget that in real life, negative space is just as useful as filled space. Positive space? The space with stuff in it. Isn't it weird that space is just full of negative space when you think about it? I love space. Jeff Bezos shouldn't have gone. Or rather, he shouldn't have come back. But hey, am I gonna do it? Is this where I'm gonna do it? I think I'm gonna do it. Oh, I did it! Oh, how cheeky! It's not a build if I don't put the Dinus Cactoid in there. I think I'm actually starting to learn where the stuff that I want comes in the debug menu. There comes a point, I think, when you've scrolled through it enough that you can actually pinpoint where it's going to be. I didn't check if that is clipping on the outside there, so I sure hope it's not. It's not. Good. Alright, so I think this is just the final touches here. Just a little bit of light, it is. Final touches, sort the lights out. And we will be done. Oh yeah, plants. Gotta get a few sneaky little plants in there. A few sneaky extras. Size up, size down. Well, on that note, I guess I'll see you all next time. Enjoy the last few seconds of this build. Take care, everyone.